Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Torchlight. Let's continue. So we're on floor 23 of what I thought was going to be floor 50, but now feels like it's going to be floor 25. We've hit a maximum at level as far as how much we can transmute or improve our health potions. So unless there's some kind of triggering event that changes things, we're kind of done there. I kind of feel like similar elements are going to play a role as far as the items we're picking up. It feels like this game has really only 7 to 10 sets of named armors that are special armors. But even though that is a small amount, you're not likely to get all the pieces to the sets even if you try. I've been trying kind of hard to do that. You can see my armor is now at some level that is just so high. Of course I'm playing on easy, but I'm not really taking any damage at all from any explosion that feels or looks like it should be damaging me. I'm really having no trouble killing things. Our bow, even though it doesn't have the fastest attack speed, does 60 more damage than the rifle does, showing that the rifle, while it may be faster, is not better. I suspect that even if you had the slowest attack speed style of weapons, the attack speed would still be rather brisk and doable. Nobody wants to play even as a barbarian tank character and then swing their hammer so slowly that it takes like 5 seconds to attack. We're running into named characters rather frequently, probably because I've increased my magic find and item drop. This might be the way the game ensures that you get increased item drops, is just by making you fight slightly stronger named characters who are guaranteed to drop items. That works perfectly fine for me because they're frankly still pushovers.
A trap has been sprung.
The dog is doing well. He's only died once, or been hurt once in the game. And frankly, I think that's once more than happened the first time I played this game. It's been a long time. I do believe I played this when it came out, so it's probably been a decade, or nearly a decade, since I last played this game, and so I'm lacking any memory as far as how much further this goes. There might be some built-in DLC into this version that quite simply I didn't have the first time I played it, so maybe we'll hit a point where we leave this cave or go into another magical dimension or something and do some different levels, or maybe not. I suppose we do still have the skeletons section, so whatever that skeleton section is, where the crypt is in the overworld, that hasn't been unlocked, that hasn't been mentioned, so there might be a collection of stronger challenges behind that for a post-game experience. Although if it does just kind of wrap up the main story, I don't know how much of a post-game experience I'd really want to try and do, particularly since I know Torchlight 2 is in my Steam library and my intention is just to play that next, and I've never played Torchlight 2, so and that is a bit of a condemnation of
I can't carry anymore.
of Torchlight 1 is it was a little bit too grindy, and we're still seeing that same effect. I was trying to find a better belt, and so maybe because I gambled for some belts, I'll actually get a belt that can work better. So we have increased gold find by 1 for reduction in armor by 15 and 2 sockets. Or we have speedy half moon axe, which does less damage and requires strength. Deflecting visage. This is a shield. Boots that are nothing. An armor of 10 plus 5 mana. Armor of 7, increased gold find by 1. So I could get plus 5 magic or poison resistance 7. Neither one of these belts are really worth it. I think each item probably has a maximum, and this dragon scale mantle, I bet with an armor of 40 is the maximum it can do, at least in the original gameplay. Fight what that is. 355. Can't do anything with that. Right. And increase gold find and extra health minus dexterity. Let's look at our character sheet. Our dexterity right now is 28. If I was to equip this instead of that, our dexterity still is 28. So 276, 276. I'm looking at the wrong thing. 85. I was looking at magic the whole time. AG 84. Yeah, having 1 extra base point of dexterity when I'm using a bow and arrow is better. That being said, I think the dog, he could probably do with increased health and damage and gold find. So we can put that there. Give him a little bit more health, not that it really will matter. I'm still trying to find something that would replace the berserk cord, and nothing's working. We have identify spell, which I was going to get rid of this, and then elemental overload, which I'll definitely sell that. Yeah, I don't think there would be a reason why I'd want to do that. Although I don't want to actually give it to the dog just in case he decides to learn that spell. Which it seems like he did do that at some point. It's weird that they randomly place these salesmen next to enemies and the salesmen just get left alone. The AI tracking is clearly just programmed not to pay any attention to them at all.
Quest complete.
Apparently I finished a quest, which means I would have to go back and get a new quest at my earliest convenience. Yeah, there's probably a boss around here. Alright, so let's roll over all these items. And just look at this guy. Alright. we can start by saying we want a cracked skull, sure, and a cracked pure ember, sure, and a cracked flow ember. We'll buy. Web 1 spell. It fires a sticky missile. I doubt he's gonna have anything that's part of a set or important in any way. 8 damage reflected with an armor of 14. That might be the best belt I have a chance of actually getting, because I bet the belt stops at 25 if I was to guess. Let's go ahead and identify things. Nothing there. Nothing there. Or there. Or there. Or there. Here we have a weapon that does a little bit less damage with the same attack speed, so that's no good. This scale helmet would be better. I bet the helmets stop at level 15 too. And I wouldn't be surprised if it has some special abilities that it stops a little bit lower, so maybe the dragon scale mantle could be a level 50 if it wasn't enhanced. So put all of these there. And then, sell all of this, yeah. Being particularly cautious. And then heal all 3 versus heal all 2. I did want to teach this to the dog. So heal all 3. And then sell this. And let's get rid of that. Right. Draining touch 2. I'm gonna control and left click to unlearn this spell. Control left click, there we go. Right click. Come on. So now the dog knows heal all 3. Where was summon archers? What? Why did he... What happened here? He lost his spell to summon archers. That's crazy. That was a great spell. And I could unlearn my spell. Sure, if I cared. Elemental Overload or Web 1. Neither one of those are what I want. Meanwhile, I forgot to do this first, or increase my barter. And dexterity is still what we're just trying to dump everything into until we can see if we can max it out at 100. Well, I just got a bad treatment there, and the dog is just gonna heal all forever, so you're gonna, for the rest of the game, almost certainly hear the dog casting heal all with no abandon. If he takes even a little bit of damage, he's gonna heal himself. which probably goes to show that you shouldn't be allowed to give the dog heal all spells, or you should mute the dog's spells, or at least have that opportunity. Yeah, this is a game that I know it does have some mods, but it didn't really embrace anything along the lines of a Skyrim mod community. I've never seen an article out there that said, hey, yeah, you can actually play Torchlight and get a ton of new experiences, a ton of new characters, a much better experience. Like, there's nothing that said anything like that. And the quests in the mods I did see were kind of mediocre at best mods. Alright. So once we go back to the store, which I'm thinking we'll fight a boss and be done with this floor fairly quickly. I think once we do that, we'll go back to the town and have to purchase a new spell. Unless we get really lucky when it drops, or if we transfer via the town portal, it resets itself. There's really no logic behind the idea that I somehow was able to unlearn a spell that was not in the slot that I was clicking on. And the level layout is so repetitive. They clearly abandoned the concept. Like, the idea of it being randomized was a concept that they wanted to do and did not succeed at.
You have triggered a trap.
There's no other way you end up with this kind of product. Unless, of course, the PC is glitching, and thus this is supposed to be a lot more randomized. I don't know why it would be so specifically glitched like that, though. There is something to be said around the idea of keeping things simple and not trying to have the expenses of quality assuring a game that is randomly generated, generating levels. But that's something Diablo could do, at least programmatically to a certain extent. Speedrunners all know the tricks that they need to know. So they kind of know how the floors can generate, and often the floors can only generate based on a few simple rules. So it's not as complicated as it might seem at first glance. But at the very least, as I don't want to call myself a layman gamer, but as an average video gamer, you should be able to play the game once and not feel like level 23 is a copy-paste of level 22. There should be some programming to prevent duplicates and add some variety. Frankly, they would have been better had they just started with some random generated levels and then hard-coded the final product. Okay, we have boots for 15. We have a mysterious helmet, which is level 4 dragon scale helmet. I don't see why level 34 dragon scale helmet beats. Oh, it beats this, which is the helmet. This is actually the shoulder armor. This increases magic find and experience. This does not increase magic find or experience, and it requires strength. But I want to hold on to it anyways. This armor is nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah, I don't think it makes much sense to go much further. Let's just fill up our inventory to the maximum and then fast travel back to the city. I'm getting far too many gems dropped. What's weird here is you've got 2 platforms, so one of the platforms has to end. And I guess that's the other direction. Right. That. Nothing to see. Alright, so I went the wrong direction. So we're gonna have to make the long journey this way. And then down here. It probably means that there really is just a small platform we missed. Yep. Just this one little platform. There's nothing even here that was worth it. And we went down this direction. So we got everything there. I will forever be at full health, which this is exactly what I expected the dog to do. Perhaps if I put him to a defensive stance or a passive stance, he wouldn't cast spells, but I really would like just his spell casting ability to change, not his attacking ability in general. I'm not sure that there's suicide goblins I've ever let one actually explode. So maybe they would do a massive amount of damage if I let them explode. But it would be kind of silly to die here at potentially the so close to the end of the game just as an experiment. Yeah, I don't think you can actually get over to that section. So down we go. And where are we with our inventory? 3 more items, 4 more items. And this is a prison stronghold. Can we get 4 more items before we fight the big boss? See, more than likely, we might start a big boss fight. Alright, here we go. That's all we needed. I'm happy with that amount of inventory. So back to the town we go.
Good to see ya.
Alright. We can sell with confidence, I think, all of these items, although it would have been more efficient to not sell these items first. We can look. Here's something that does 500 and 9 damage per second as far as a bow, which if my level was level 33, that would be way better than what I've got. Could I really afford that? I kind of want it, so I'm gonna buy it. Now that might turn out to be a huge mistake, but we'll see. 510, for instance. With extra physical damage, but this one does 4% faster attack, so we'll see. We'll see if either one of those is helpful. Look at the armor and see if they're part of any kind of set. It would basically have to be a purple armor or higher to be part of a set. I don't think any of the regular armor background color. The background colors work kind of well, not amazingly great, though. And by the way, I guess you don't scroll down? Like, what happens if we sell this? Yeah, it just disappears. So there's no way to scroll down if you fill up the inventory screen. So yeah, that's another issue. Certainly. Where were we with this? We have a 20 piece of armor that we need to change, and this would require magic that we can't do. So that's nothing.
Oh, you look quite lyrical.
Turn in this quest.
Thank you.
Accept a new quest.
You have gained a task.
Might as well go over and turn in this quest. I don't think anybody really cares what they have to say.
Good day.
Accept a new quest.
You have gained a task. Well, hello.
Cracked doll.
Bye-bye.
Right. So we have a belt here that's 30 that would require strength of 35. This requires level 33. This 58 armor. We were trying to enchant. So I think we're kind of good with that. And this requires 37, so yeah, the two that require strength I don't think are things we're ever going to do. Here we have another mysterious map scroll that we could do on the final levels at the end of the game. This gold ring could just be sold. Cracked skulls now. I think there's enough red to assume that we're going to need all of our red gems. There's a discolored flow ember, which would go with the cut flow ember. I don't think that does anything. Or the cracked flow ember. Yeah, that doesn't work. We have cracked pure ember and cracked pure ember. Those two can be mixed. And then skulls. I have a discolored skull and a cracked skull. Then cold ember, which would cracked. Can't do anything with that right now. Okay. And then we've got a whole bunch of that. We might as well convert over. And then these we might as well just sell to make room.
Well, hello.
Okay. Dull, cracked fire ember. So we got 2 dulls that we can transmute.
Fortune is kind to you.
That makes it discolored, which doesn't work for anything else. And get 2 of these.
Fortune smiles
Make a
on
dull pure ember. And that just leaves us with this.
Fortune is kind to you. Fortune is kind to you.
Just keep on transmuting.
Fortune is kind to you. Fortune smiles on you. Fortune is kind to you. Fortune smiles on you.
I guess the question is,
Smiles on
if we pick up any health mana potions, I still think that they're giant health potions
you. Is kind to
are the things that we're picking up.
you. Fortune
So there's
smiles on you.
a logical reason to
Smiles on you.
have some of these in your inventory,
Is kind to you.
but
Fortune smiles.
it's been hours and hours and hours, at least 5 hours since I feel like I last,
Smiles on
well, it may have just been 3 hours, come to think of it.
is kind to you.
At least 3 hours, and since I last used any of these health potions.
Fortune is kind to you. Fortune smiles on you.
And I don't know if we're ever going to be at a point where I really need to use the top tier
Kind to you.
health potions.
Fortune smiles on you.
We're at 1345. It seems like our health will
Fortune
continue to just go up as we level up. And that's just how things will go.
kind to you. Fortune smiles on you.
We do have 5,000 gold, so
Fortune
could
is kind to you.
try to
Fortune is kind to you.
enchant
Fortune
the item.
smiles on you. Fortune smiles on you. Fortune is kind to you. Fortune is kind to you.
There we go.
Fortune smiles on you.
Just continue to transmute.
Fortune smiles on you.
Really need a button. Just a simplistic
Good
button.
journey.
Alright, we also need a spell, or we need to check on the dog, so
See you later.
let's look at the dog's inventory. Yeah, the dog somehow unlearned the
Hiya.
spell. So we need the spell back. Fireball 7 requires level 30. Dervish for 10 seconds. Frost 6. Silence 5. What is our character sheet?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, next level we get
Hi
is
there.
level 30, so that wouldn't be a problem. The question, I guess, is just what do we want? Silencing enemies, preventing them from using their skills within 6 meters. Or Frost 6. Really want summon archers, skeletons. But clearly I'm not going to get what I want. So, Silence 5. Does that... Is that really what I want to spend my money on? Or Dervish 6? I'll go with silence. So he's got silence.
Bye.
Meanwhile, this spell is something I wanted to put special for any new player. Like that fictional new character that would never actually occur. Let's see. So dull pure ember. We did have dull pure ember. So there's more to this. Big health potions could be sold.
Hi there.
Right, so sell that. I can wear this armor. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can get it enchanted
Hello there.
without screwing it up. One more successful enchant.
You are unlucky.
All right. Anything you need?
No, I don't have enough. Right. So a major increase in armor with a lack of increase in a lot of other things.
All right.
Makes that armor still not really in a good position. So we've kind of got a whole set of stuff that I'm thinking about trying to use if I can get it to work. Transmute that to pure. Oh no, that's discolored.
Good luck to you.
Well. Crack discolored pure. Right. Does this guy have a new quest for us? No. So back to the game we go. Yeah, our inventory and the dog is fine. Okay, he's gonna learn this spell as soon as he gets to level 39. Or learn it now, I guess. So the dog has that spell. Back to the dungeon. Maybe the dog has some special item that reduces the requirements by a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Let me look at my inventory and just make sure I've got the right weapon equipped. Yes. I thought maybe I'd picked up and equipped a secondary weapon that we were thinking about dealing with. And if we hadn't, alright. One can only assume if we are going to... Like, this is a level 19 troll. If we are going to take on some enemies, some big time boss enemy, like this is the first time we've ever seen health and mana in the same place.
Why do you struggle against Ordrak's will? No matter. The Overseer could not pass this realm, and you will fare no better against the goblin hordes.
So maybe this is a boss fight with a lot of goblins instead of one just giant troll, which is what this is. It's showing you in a cutscene fire on the ground to, I guess, partially warn you. There's a troll master, and he is protecting and shielding our character. There goes the troll master. I'm not sure how much the silencing really affects anything. Apparently we got another troll master, or he was using his ability because he was silenced. Take note, this guy's hitting me hard and he's still not really doing anything. I'm easily capable of just walking around and taking these guys on. Summon some more characters. I could try to use my spells, but I don't know if that's really necessary. There's my fame increase, so we might as well see if we can increase our barter ability while we're in the middle of the gameplay. This guy has a massive amount of health. He's at level 19, I'm at level 29, I'm 10 levels above, which is probably a problem. I am playing on easy, so maybe they decided to put one of the final boss characters, which I assume this is one of the final boss characters, behind a limiting level. Yeah, I could see maybe if he was at 29 too that we would have trouble, because we've seen in the portals when the portals happen that is a case where things are more difficult. So the troll masters seem to have been healing him. Now that they're all gone, he's finally gonna die. But he can't drop too many items because then I wouldn't be able to carry all of them. So he needs to drop particularly good items. I don't think anything is coming out of these areas. These are my zombies just wandering around. I want to just make sure nothing else dropped anything. And yeah, there's nothing over here. That by far was the longest fight we've had, but I'm so overpowered. And I like being overpowered. That's a good experience, in my opinion.
Made it to the fortress. Are you feeling the effects of the Ember blight? Don't worry, we're close to finding your cure. I hope you will continue to help me afterward. Whatever is causing this corruption is too powerful for me to face on my own. Clear a path to the Ember Forge, and I will meet you there.
So, I guess maybe we're not as... Maybe we're at the halfway point? Maybe I've been playing really, really slow. Quest-wise, everything's incomplete. You might as well take a moment to look at your inventory after a fight like that. It's a well-done treasure trove of items, I'm sure. Now, we'll see how rewarding it really is. Alright. I think I'm maybe getting everything I ever wanted. Alright. So first we have a 302 eye poker unique bow, which increases all kinds of fire, ice, potion, and electric damage, and has a 4% faster attack. But it's only at 302, so this is something I have to hold on to, but it's not something I can use. Next we have a Shimtron's Control, part of Shimtron's Guard, which Cymatrons, I guess is how you'd really pronounce that. This is a unique belt too, but it's way below our level, so it also is still useless. Yeah, it seems like that's going to be the case every time, because we're just going to continuously run into more and more useless things. This isn't a terrible idea. +5 dexterity. Let's see. No, I don't think this works. But it might be better than what we have, so I'll think about it. +3 strength attribute bonus. If I could wear strength, if I could increase strength, I could wear several pieces of equipment. So we've got several items here that are under consideration, to say the least. Be interesting to look at the waypoint and see how many different places and positions there are. That's where I assume DLC would come through.
The dwarves will consume both from below and from within.
Use the waypoint to transport to a new area.
Assaulted the fortress, and his essence flowed through the Ember and turned them to his side. The remains of the battle are all around me, but my understanding comes from the Ember. He speaks to me through the veins, and I cannot shut my ears to his voice. Despite his immense strength, Ordrak cannot leave the source of his immortality. His essence reaches out through the veins and corrupts without purpose. Such power could transform the world, if only it were freed from this mountain.
It is a slightly different story than Diablo, but only slightly. Well, this looks different. And I'm glad for that. It's bringing back the idea that there was guns in this world, which I felt still kind of defeats the sword, shield, bow, and magic wand balance. It really takes it from rock, paper, scissors to rock, paper, scissors and something else. In Diablo 1, the story is that Diablo's influence, which is kind of just nebulously described, has corrupted many people and turned them into demonic evil people. Looks like there's a trap on all of these. I just got stabbed and it was nothing. There's enemies here with glowing light blades. Right. Get our ability up. The thing here is I would need 10 strength to do anything else. Where I'd really like to see my dexterity just go up to 100. I'd like to see if we can do anything more there. So I keep going in those decisions. Right. So these traps always trigger. There was not a path here that was safe. And they re-trigger once reset. This is a different color scale, a different palette. It's nice. And it's perhaps too randomly different from the previous level, though. There really isn't a natural progression from this Lost Dwarven area to the Dwarven prison that was on lava. And theoretically, you would say that this whole area, since it's beneath where the lava was, is in some kind of cave. And we'd already seen a cave full of water, so the whole thing doesn't make sense if you believe that this is just going straight down over and over again, which is what the story is saying. Yeah, as a spiritual successor or a clone of Diablo, this game is too much of a clone of Diablo. The storyline is, at least. We needed more subtlety, more nuance. That's a thing that's often lacking in many conversations, and many times in situations, but if there was some betrayal, if there was some actual character development, if there was some disagreements between the main characters, if it wasn't just, oh, you're corrupted with this force and that's forcing you to do what we tell you to do, and you're just going to do all these quests because you're this nameless, faceless adventurer, and that's what you came to do. You have, it seems, absolutely no stake. I cannot hit this guy from this angle. I could probably clip through something if I tried really hard, but it's probably not worth it. Yeah, there's no stakes here. There's no reason why you're fighting, why you even came to the town. Other than maybe there was some small level of explanation given to that at the very beginning of the game, but that was 10 hours ago and it's not been revisited or reminded to me. And the weird thing here is that big boss character that we just beat, that was a quest. I assume that's a fame quest, but I could as easily believe that that was somehow the boss and we just defeated it. The only thing that dissuades me of actually believing that is the fact that Crag, the character we fought before, took so much time to kill. I think he sets the new standard. So any real boss character should take longer than Crag to kill and have some subordinates shielding him. Things like that. We're still at one-click shots. One-click kills, mostly. Which is where we want to be. You know what really sucks is so many games pretend like you can get to this point where you're really overpowered and you've got it set and it's just easy street, turn off your brain and enjoy the ride for the rest of the game. So many games make it seem like you can do that and then don't let that ever happen. They have balancing code that makes it more difficult. They throw more enemies at you. They do something that always makes it not possible. And that kind of stinks. Because sometimes after a hard work, all the hard work's been put in, I feel like you should be able to sit back and enjoy the game for at least a small amount of time. Particularly if you're choosing to play it on easy. But I guess they have the research that says if they don't give you a challenge that you will get bored of the game rather quickly and stop doing things.
My inventory is full.
Alright.
You have triggered a trap.
Something there caused all of the characters to go
My
berserk.
inventory is full.
Yep. Alright. More items. We have identify scrolls. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Put that over there. Get rid of that. That. No, don't need that. Don't need that.
I can't carry anymore.
We have a heavy helm of the owl, which would not increase experience. And at some point, I guess that's where this really would come down to is I need something that would
Your
just
pet has departed.
increase the experience that I'm getting. Or we're going to hit a max level. And if we get to hit a max level, then at that point I'd be very bored with the game. I don't know how I could have any entertainment with it at all if we've hit that max level and there's nothing else to do. So I'm willing to lose potentially 9 armor, which I don't need really any other armor, just to maintain the experience so that we can keep on going up. Skills wise, while we're waiting, we have level 7, which would next level increase us to 18% gold find and 18% magic find.
Your pet has returned.
I think the dog is stuck on the other side of a wall. I imagine he'll be able to find his way. So this is an interesting, yeah. If you run far enough away, he'll just clip through walls, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a booby trap there that I could have activated. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if all the walls become permeable for the dog when you get far enough away, and he can walk on all surfaces, so he just walks directly. But I gotta say, I don't know how much more of this I really want to play. I think I need a break too. So I need to find a good point where we could go back to the city and do some inventory management and then decide. We're on floor 25. Just standing on the same platform won't trigger the trap a second time. That's nice. It did hurt me somewhat, but not enough to really matter. With the dog healing me and himself whenever he feels like it, we're perfectly safe. You can kind of see that there's a problem here with the dog having mana and being able to cast spells. His mana pool, let's see, is 170. And when he casts, let's just hurt ourselves a little bit there. When he casts it, it takes about 1/8 of his health out. That's a fine amount. It really isn't isn't too much to deal with. A large collection of gold, but these piles of gold still are cycling between 9 or some small amount a lot of times. We're getting bigger piles that are worth about 60, but and that clearly had to be a hand-coded area as far as the level design goes. Yeah, we're just in a new area. It's just I've been doing this so much. I think I'm probably gonna have a kind of come to Jesus moment at the end of this game, depending on how many more hours there are, and say, actually, I don't think I can play Torchlight as a sequel. There clearly is something around on the other side of this. Like Torchlight 2, I don't know if I can actually put my fingers, just all the clicking without using a controller alone is wearing out my fingers. So I think I might give myself a break and play some other game and then maybe come back another month down the road or after playing something different, just to keep things varied.
My pack is full.
Alright. Inventory. Identify. That. What spells do we have? Summon Skeleton 3, which I guess might be better than Summon Zombie 1, but I don't really have a reason to hold on to that or try and use it. Is this an area that goes on? How can I have two different areas that are going the same way? This has got to be the right way. So the other direction has got to be the wrong way. Yeah. It's just a particularly large area. Like a secret throne room. I don't know why you would have a secret throne room. Because the whole point of a throne room is to hear an audience. And allow people to approach you and talk to you. If you're not gonna do that, then why not just have a secret safe room or a secret bedroom or just secret room, secret library. Yeah, library is the prime example of something you would have secret if you're some kind of king, place where you could have solitude and no one was allowed to approach you or bother you. Yeah, I don't want to play any more of this. We're already going late, so town portal, back we go. Let's do this. I'm definitely going to take at least a break between this and the next recording. One hopes not any extended break, as I more and more often accidentally keep doing. Increase gold find. Well, that's not gonna beat what I have. It wouldn't probably be a terrible item for a new character. I don't know why I'm playing like this. It's this fictional concept that I'd come back and play as a new character is wasting my time. Right. Looking at the weapons, will we find anything that is 500? Because that's what we were seeing before. Or anything that 575. Versus 352. Wait, no. I didn't. What said 575? There it is. Fastest attack speed, 575. Equip. And we're going to destroy that weapon and get the gem out of it. I need to do all of this before I end this recording in case I end up taking a long break and forgetting what I was doing. Then we're looking for any armor that would be part of a set. This is Dragon Slayer shoulders. Let's make sure that we actually have, we don't already have that, before we buy it.
Take care now.
Right. Nope, we don't have Dragon Slayer shoulders.
Good to see ya.
Right.
Watch your back.
Okay, the problem with the Dragon Slayer shoulders is they're not as good as the Dragon Scale shoulders, and everything else had some requirements that didn't really work with us. Get rid of the increased experience to use the Dragon Slayer helm, which would never have increased experience. Yeah, I don't think so. This still requires things. I think all of that is sellable. I think this is sellable too. Let's stop. Yeah, let's make a hard rule. Unless it's a unique item or unless it's a part of a set, it's not going in this chest. I just don't have enough room for it. Just accept the next quest.
Begun a new quest.
Did we finish this quest?
Got some good deals for you. Waste no time.
Eyeball.
Hi there.
Right, where are we now? Summon zombies 4. Summon flaming sword 4. Frost 6 versus Frost 1. I'm not even using Frost, so it'd be a waste of money to buy it. Okay. Let's just double check we want to sell all this stuff. If I could enchant this item and to get more experience. It's worth a chance. We were thinking about the eye poker. That's a unique item. We want to keep that. This is a unique item. We want to keep this. This strength bonus on the character.
See ya.
Strength, if I use this instead of this, gets me to 26. Does that let me wear anything useful? We have a skill armor of 32 versus a skill armor of 58. That's what I think we're trying to enchant. This would still be 37. This would still be 35. This is still a level of damage that is less than what we have, so we could sell that too. We have this eyeball, which maybe we could try to put it in something. Weapon mana stolen per hit. Do I have anything else that would make more sense to put in there? Health recovery per second. That's not something we need. Ice, poison, health stolen, 18% damage on pure Ember. Yeah. I think mana stolen per hit. Well, actually, I don't think that actually does anything either. So, this would do 9 damage, this would do 4 health recovery, this does 12 damage, this does 9, this does 10, this does 19, this does 18. So, just pure fire damage in it. What else? This is 18. What else might we put it in? As a socket. This is missing anything in its socket. This has 2 things in its socket. That has something in its socket. That doesn't have a socket. That doesn't have a socket. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything that can be socketed.
Hello there.
So then it comes down to, you have a 35 armor. This we could do once, or this we could do for 3,000.
Fortune smiles on you.
Right.
Shoo! Off with you.
Yeah, that's as good as we're gonna get. We're gonna lose this item and put in this item instead, just to add to our armor. Not that we really needed. And then this will go in the storage, and then this.
Anything you need.
Let's see if we can enchant it once.
Fortune smiles on you.
Shoo! Off with you.
Yeah, we lost our experience gain, though. 2% experience gain instead of this item. I don't think I can allow that to happen. Yeah, I don't think I can justify getting rid of anything that doesn't have an experience gain in it. And I suspect you can't put experience gain in something, even if you wanted to. These unique items are not going to work. And that can be sold too. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll hold on to that. Because the one thing holding back some of these Dragon Slayer items would would be strength too. There's probably a build here that makes a lot of sense. Right, we've got a belt that's level 6. We've got a belt that's level 8. This is part of Schminter's or Simonter's Guard, which I haven't seen that, so this is just a belt that's level 14. And then this is a dragon scale helmet, which is another unique item, but not part of any kind of set. And Summon Skeletons 3, I don't think works as a spell that I'd want to get rid of. Just gonna drop that all there, and then come over here and sell this, and sell this, and sell this. I have to be kind of careful not to switch back to our other weapon, which is going to do considerably less damage. Although we're doing like way more damage than we need to. And this guy's got a new quest for us.
You have become a new quest.
So we've got 4 quests, which is the maximum number of quests. If we look at the waypoint, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The way this is split on this resolution, it looks like there clearly could be 5 more locations. Just, which really makes me question maybe if this game is not way longer than I think it is. It's going for a long time.
Hey friend, you feeling a little lucky?
Like, what I would be looking for is armor. Just the most expensive body armor, and we can't even afford it. We get money,
Hey
and
friend,
we
you
come
feeling
out of
a little lucky?
we run out of money.
Goodbye.
And if anything is going to give me a challenge, it will be through this portal. So let's just go through our inventory and go through each of these buttons. Character sheet wise, I want to see this get up to 100. And if it's at 100 and it can't go to 101, then I know we've done a complete job. If it sticks at 100 though, probably by the end of a second playthrough, you have 4 or 3 out of the 4 at least items. I'm absorbing 100 points of electric damage, which okay, but not anywhere as much poison damage. Magic and health is being boosted a little bit. Our fame is only at level 17. I kind of feel like at a certain level you will stop leveling up and you will only get fame, but at that point it probably won't matter, because at that point you'll probably also have had all of the points that you needed to increase this. There's only so much further we can go with this. Like level 35 seems to be the max required to get to level rank 10 in anything. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if level 35 is the maximum, and then you just start getting fame points more and more. Which, if there was an increase in your fame, that would be great. His armor is absorbing a lot, and his melee damage is doing a lot, but he does not do any elemental or range damage, which I guess makes sense. Maybe if I transformed him into something else, it temporarily he would be able to do more of that. I don't know if there's really any reason to continuously increase the pet mastery. I think that's probably not worth it. Our bartering system is not really paying off. Even 60% discount has not turned it into a good system at all. I need to find something to replace Heal All 2 with. I don't need that anymore. And the big things are just the 4 quests. It would be nice to see all the quests that were done. But yeah, I guess that's not capable. The game doesn't do that. Although map's not showing you much of anything. What did I turn it on to? Okay. Where is the journal? That's the big question. Frankly, at 11 hours and 51 minutes and 27 seconds, I am a little burned out on this game. I knew it was a Diablo game. I played it before, and I think I probably had this similar experience in previous games in the last time I played it too. It's just a little too repetitive, without enough rewards, without taking any breaks. You do an hour, and it maybe will for 30 minutes to an hour tell you to do one level and then send you off through a portal to another level, but those levels are so similar. It's not really do a puzzle, do a right brain activity, then do a left brain activity for an hour. It's all do a mindless activity of grinding. This is kind of the types of games that led to a lot of the bad press of people in PC cafes just playing all day at grinding and gold farming. Apparently I've taken 46,000 and some change steps. I've completed 46 quests. I've died 0 times. Lots of monsters we've defeated. Only 8 fish caught. And we've gambled 18 times and transmuted 245 times. So that kind of goes to show just how much there's an over-reliance on transmuting and just having you fight enemies. And the only reason I've even cast this many spells is probably because the dog counts too, or I was casting spells in a lot of in an effort to prove that was going to do something, which it really didn't. The number bar here, I've never used any of these numbers past 6, so I could clearly change this to just spells, because there's no reason, no way I would ever use any of this. So I can just show off the spells I have, but the right mouse button is attack. Well, the right mouse button right now is identify item. Okay. Oh yeah, because it constantly turns into identify item, so you can't ever use the spells, because as soon as you go and right click in the menu and say, hey, use this to be identified, it turns your right click into it, and then you would have to tab your way back into things. Yep. Pause menu. Interesting. I hadn't played around this. This is another one of those examples of, first of all, the camera is zooming in and zooming out because it's uneven terrain. That's weird. But this is another example of like the graphics having to be a lot better than they needed to be just so you could do this. And this doesn't really work too well. And yeah, that's cool and all, but it doesn't, it's not worth it. it is not worth it to have to animate things at a major improved scale just so that you can pause the menu and do this. Alright, well, we are 25 minutes over. Oh, goodness. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.